Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your ITFC match preview show ahead of Plymouth versus Ipswich Town. Can the ITFC surge continue? Welcome to your show. Please get active in our live chat. Get active with all your comments this evening. There's lots of them coming in already, which we'd love to see. We'd love to hear. If you're watching on catch up, comment for the algorithm. FTA, baby. Comment for the algorithm. James says, very hard game for us. Hard to go, Plymouth, but I think we can do it. But we need to be on it for all 90 minutes. James can see it being quite tight for 60 minutes, but our bench coming through for us 2-1, says James with his prediction. How you feeling? Obviously, a couple of, is it transfer news? I don't know if we can describe it as that. I mean, it's painstakingly obvious, isn't it? And Omari Hutchinson being watched by European clubs, Leif Davis being watched by, I think it was West Ham and Newcastle. We'll touch on that this evening. Give me some valuations on Leif. What would you expect to be selling him for if we are to sell him in the summer? And is anyone surprised, by the way, that both players are being watched by other teams? Certainly, I'm not. But what you may be surprised to hear is we are partnered with Match Bingo. Play Match Bingo, win. I've outdone myself with that link. Sorry, I'm actually just sort of patting myself on the back. But yeah, play Match Bingo, win cash prizes, and pat yourself on the back, as Sean has done 2 weeks in a row. Sean, one of our viewers, has picked up £50 each week, so £100 in Sean's back pocket just by playing Match Bingo and supporting the crucial work of the East Anglian Air Ambulance. Every game helps to save lives and provide vital medical care to those in need. How do you play? I hear you scream at home. Well, information is on the screen. Register online, then download the Match Bingo app on your mobile phone. Choose your matches. Play during the most exciting football fixture. Of course, the East Anglian Derby coming up again soon. Bingos is a free game. Bingo cards is £2 a game. All information is on their app. Over 18s, be gamble aware. Mike D says, Leaf 2025 to buy Omari 2025, says Colin. 25 plus, says Phil Blundell. Leif Davis has only barreled 25 million. Loving the evaluations coming in. Keep them coming as I welcome in my cohorts for this evening, Mr. Matthew Phillips, and 12 Cup finals himself, Richard Moss. Rich, have you ever played in the Cup final?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, when
really?
I think I was under 12s.
Don't count.
Steeple Dynamos versus Earls Combe at Stoke by Nayland, and I was the penalty taker, right? And I'd never missed a penalty. It went to penalty shootout, and I missed 2.
Sad news, man.
And we lost, and I cried.
The cruncher crumbled. The cruncher crumbled.
Cried.
Bottle job crunch.
I've got a bad eye, look. Can you see my eye?
Yeah.
What have you done? What have you done?
I've got a sty. Got a sty.
I thought you'd walked into the tractor door or something.
Yeah.
No.
We don't do that. He doesn't do that.
I feel a bit run down. I've got a dodgy ear. I've got a dodgy eye. Yeah, so...
We're lucky you're here.
We are.
I was going to sack it off, but I thought, no.
Good man. You've
fight through, ain't you?
You've powered through. You've powered through. You're feeling dodgy because all of these shows you've been doing recently, like last night, again, live on the platform with Talking Cricket. Talk us through very quickly what it was you spoke about last night.
Fourth test review with myself, Ian, and Rob.
Dream
Matt
team,
Phillips,
you called him.
Matt Phillips has not watched it.
No.
Not a surprise, is it, really?
I've been busy. I have things going on.
Well, you've got to catch up, please. We've had over 130 views already. So if you haven't watched it, get on it. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Comment for the algorithm. We need some comments on the cricket show, Gov. Come on, get some comments in.
You had your top order though, didn't you? It was like the elite.
Yeah, it was a really good show. Good show, just over an hour. So Gov needed to go to bed, and I've got to thank Gov for letting us do it on a Tuesday night, which is
at 8:30. I mean, I was in bed, Crunch. Like 8:30 for me is sleep time. So
because I'm never quite sure, Matt. When I say like this is the end of the show, we'll see you on the next. I never know if Gov's actually watching, and then we might actually still be live on there, but he is actually watching.
Not a drop off.
I'm watching.
Off we go.
He owed you this, didn't he? This was an agreement you had. If you turned up to the statue,
he said he was undermanned for Saturday, and then we had everybody turning up.
They all turned out. I know.
The Bergens were there. Richard Chandler was there. It was great.
Yes. Crystal Ball
Coxey
Chandler was there. Coxey was there. It turns out all right. Yeah, I shot myself in the foot, but you're never quite sure. Saturday morning, it was looking like, squad was threadbare. And Matt, there's no excuse not to listen. You simply pop it in your ears and you can go about your daily business and you can listen to the wonderful world of Test cricket. Like,
What was I thinking? I don't know. I was I don't know. I was listening to you two in the car. Sorry.
Well, us two?
You two?
No, the Irish one.
The more famous version of the
U2 baby. Yeah, that's what I was
I'm off to see Deacon Blue, by the way, Matt. I like your little singing the other day. And what's up? 16th of August. We're off to Newmarket nights. Deacon Blue. We've had some songs on the Alexa tonight. Singing away.
Beautiful. All right. Look, talking of no, I've got no segue for the Alexa to West Ham or Omari, so we'll just go straight into it. Transfer news. Leif Davis, we'll start with him because he's our player and probably our most sellable asset. Being watched, tracked, looked at by West Ham and Newcastle. Newcastle, Matt, will be a particularly interest to Leif, obviously. Not surprising news and valuation. What would you be looking?
Yeah, it's a bit of a hard one, isn't it? I mean, look, what did Mike D say earlier? 20 to 25? I think you've got to be talking that figure, haven't you? I mean, look, he does have limitations in defence, I think, but going forward, his stats just speak for himself. He's just a marauder, isn't he, down the left-hand side? He's closing in on that assist record for the Championship. So, I mean, when you put in numbers up like that, then we want to see numbers on the transfer fee, don't we? Look, Ashton's no sucker when it comes to these things. And if Leif does go, we don't want him to. But if he does, then we will get a decent fee for him. But look, all clubs are going to get linked with him. Premier League clubs get linked to good players, and he's a good player. So it'd be interesting to see if he does go and where he lands.
Adam Crunch says, evening all, be quite angry if we sold Leif for less than 40 million.
40 million?
He'll be England's starting left back within a couple
Blimey,
of
Adam.
breaks.
Have you been drinking, Adam? He's not worth 40 million. Let's
take that cash. We'll take that money.
The thing that we want, or it'd be quite handy, wouldn't it, if we had 2 or 3 clubs in, and then we get a little bit of maybe a bidding war. So obviously you've got West Ham and Newcastle. He's obviously Newcastle fan. They might be looking for a left back. They've got Dan Burn there, Matt. He's been a very good signing for them from Brighton.
Yeah, he has.
But look, I think it's no secret that Davis will probably be off in the summer, and it wouldn't surprise me, Matt and Martin, even if we went up, he might possibly leave, because he's obviously coveted, and I think he's got, 26 assists over a season and last season, and then the 34 games this season. So look, like you said, Matt, Ashton's no mug. Don't forget that he had Adam Webster and he sold him for 25 million.
Yeah.
And we sold him for 3. So we should expect to get a decent price, and Ashton will squeeze the last penny out of whoever wants him, and then hopefully that can be reinvested back into the team if he goes. But I expect him to move on in the summer.
I think that's probably a good. Look, if we did go up, he could still go. I think that's probably right, because if you've got a club coming in offering Champions League football, European football, whatever it might be, then it's another incentive to be able to play for England. And as we said on Sunday, there's a lack of good left backs, I think, in the England setup at the moment. So, if Leif's playing at the highest level, every other week in European football, then he stands a good chance of getting capped, I think.
It'd be rather apt as well, wouldn't it, if he replaces, because Cresswell's going to move on, they reckon, in the summer from West Ham.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
And Gov's actually gone out, and you did say that Leif Davis will be a better player than Aaron Cresswell, didn't you?
I did. I firmly believed it then, and I firmly believe it now.
And you said he could be an assist machine. Your scouting level is unbelievable, Mark.
Well, we did say he should take the corners.
Yeah, I did.
That's where the majority of them have come from, right?
Yep. Yeah, back when Lee Evans was taking them. Do you remember those dark days where Lee Evans was not beating the first man?
Grant Ledber?
Grant Ledboots, yeah, not beating the first man either.
Remember them corners? Well, how many did we go? Was it 250? Or we scored one goal, didn't we?
Yeah. Was that under Keane? Was that Keane?
No, this was under Cook and.
Oh, was it? It was under them. Oh my God.
Yeah, and obviously, and when McKenna came in to start with, and Kieran did say before the start of last season, I think he said, like, you won't get promoted and you won't go where you want. And I think he said you need like 25% of your goals or something. He said
you need that
from set pieces. So
set pieces
look at us now. And the trouble is, look, I think he'll move on. Gov did actually say that a left back will never get you promoted.
He did say, while we are bigging you up, Martin, you did actually say that as well. So we've got to bring you down.
But every good scout has a bad happy.
Yeah.
It's all about, if he does leave, you have to replace that player, and you're probably not going to replace him, guys, with the numbers, are you? Really, I think you're probably going to struggle there.
No.
Well,
No,
I mean,
of course
look,
you're not.
Leif Davis was never on our radar to begin with, and we bought him in for what, just over $1 million or something.
$1.5 million.
So look,
Yeah.
again, as we were saying with Omari on Sunday, there'll be someone like a Leif Davis just waiting in the wings, and it'll be a fit for us if it goes. And happy days, a new era will begin.
Yeah, and do you think, you mentioned the Adam Webster fee there, do you think that Webster fee, it is some time ago now, do you think that's a good starting point for negotiation? Do you think we can use that in any way as an historical value of a defender, albeit a centre-half, going up to the Premier League? And it was a while ago. With inflation, I'm not saying 40, but you are looking, maybe. I don't know.
But then you'd say there's not the money being spent across like the last two windows. It's not. I think it was down, wasn't it? I think I can't remember the figures, but the spending was down. So are we maybe overpriced them a little bit? I don't know. I'd say 20 million. I'll 20 million. I'll be the one in 20 million. 15 to 20, and I think you'd be happy with that.
I think what you're alluding to there is obviously the biting of the FFP, but then obviously Everton having their points deduction reduced. Matt, does that take away a little bit of the sting of the FFP for clubs perhaps that are looking at it originally thinking, well, we need to stick to the parameters because we don't know what the rulings are. Well, actually, the ruling is 10 points, and then you appeal and you get -5. -5. I mean, Everton, what now? Mid-table, pushing on European football. No, I'm joking about the European football, but they're certainly no longer relegation zoned, as it were.
Yeah. That's why I think probably if Leif was to go, he'll land at a team that's got European football on their plate. He's too good to go to someone like, I don't know, Luton or somebody. Say Luton was to stay up. I mean, he's got aspirations to play international football, and I think the bigger clubs will be looking at him. Absolutely.
Colin says Davis could potentially play for England. No, not potentially, Colin. Davis will play for England. Paul F will be sad to see Leif go, but maybe we'll be able to retain Omari. Good shift there. Good pivot from Paul's comment. Omari being linked to a host of European clubs, or being tracked by a host of European clubs. Again, a bit like Leif interest. Water is wet, right? Like that's standard. He's been playing very well. He's at Chelsea for one more year when he gets back in terms of a contract. So I'll be surprised if European clubs weren't looking at him. But what are your thoughts on those links? Does that obviously that drives the price up? Is there any way with that interest, Rich, that you ever see Omari returning?
Just enjoy him while he's here. He'll be another. We've had a lot of loan players that we haven't signed. Tom Lawrence, Ryan Fraser. You just have to
Rory Fallon.
You just got to be realistic, haven't you? You got to be realistic, and he's when he came. You look at him from when he came, Matt, to where he is now. Massive, massive progress. And I think he loves it at Town. You can see that he enjoys it. But, I very much doubt. Well, especially if we remain in the Championship, there's no chance. If we go up, possibly it could be a loan. But then, I'd be very surprised if he's back at Portman Road next season.
Because, of course, goals win points, points win prizes, and prizes bring exorbitant amounts of riches, Matt. So if you're talking about a left back who albeit provides those goals, being whatever, Omari must be, again, you're looking 10+ million, right, for an evaluation?
When you went points make prizes, I was hoping you were going to go into a Brucey full side.
Good game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I agree. I keep agreeing with Rich tonight. What's going on? I think there could be a deal to be done there in terms of a loan to come back on a loan if we were to get promoted, because Chelsea now want to see him start playing at the highest level. But I think probably going somewhere into like the Bundesliga or something is probably where he'd go if we were to stay down. You get a lot of sort of players from North America, and I know he represents Jamaica, going into the Bundesliga, and it's. It'd be a good test for him. But as Rich says, enjoy him while he's here. But if we were to get promoted, I do feel like he could come back on loan. Maybe that's a conversation that's been had already. I would imagine it probably has. But Chelsea will want their loan player to play at the best possible level, aligning with his talent level. And as Rich says, we've seen him move on from being what looked like quite a raw talent, bit of a headless chicken a little bit, wasn't he? Keen to impress, I suppose, in that Luton friendly at Colchester, to what he is now, which is scoring goals and you know, and he's going to be playing on Saturday because Wes ain't going to make it. So we'll see what he can do on Saturday. But yeah, he's going great guns. It's brilliant to see.
Yeah, the development, as I mentioned on Sunday's show, of the player has by far blown away what I expected of him this season. You know, I always talk about on the platform about, you know, young players developing. It's a roller coaster ride, and those they will come with Omari, but it's been more of a just a straight upward curve for him. It's been unbelievable, really, from that player you mentioned there in the Luton friendly. Certainly so, man.
But that's McKenna and his coaching staff, isn't it, Rich? I mean, should we be surprised? Like you said, look at Cameron Burgess, written off by people, including myself, probably our most improved player, and it's probably no surprise that Kieran and his coaching staff have put him onto this trajectory that's probably going to see him, you know, playing at the highest level.
Where do we see him in his best position, Omari?
Well, it was seen to be right on the right, doesn't it?
I think the 10. I think he can play in the 10. I know. Gov,
have we seen enough of him there though?
No,
I don't disagree.
Played there against Millwall, didn't he? I know Gov wasn't.
Yeah.
You didn't fancy him that night, and I thought he had a really, really good game. Look, he can play in all across the front positions if required, isn't he? Really, which is good. It's good if you're looking to signing a player. He's different, isn't he, than Wes. Wes is more direct, whereas Omari's tricky, and he can left foot, right foot, and his decision making. Like I said on Sunday, Gov, his decision making now compared to early in the season is a lot better. He's improved. I think he's made the most appearances for Town across all the games, Matt. I think he's
Is he really?
Yeah. He's obviously hasn't started all because he's made a lot of appearances from the bench, but he's been involved in literally every single game.
I always think back to that game against Birmingham, like the 2-2, when Harness got the brace and that. And Mickey Stockwell was doing the commentary. He was going, I like the look of this Hutchinson, he said, but he just needs to vary his game a little bit. And, you know, whether or not he took that on board, I don't know. But that's always been in my mind. And I think you have seen him vary his game there. Like, as you say, Wes, head down to the byline, get the ball in, will shoot. And now you're seeing Omari take it to the byline, come back in on himself, get the chip into the box, you know, pull it back to the right back. It's great, but maybe not a surprise given McKenna's reputation. And that's probably one of the reasons why he came here in the first place. The safe pair of hands is McKenna.
A 20 New Zealand dollars super chat from Chris. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. So love the content. Leif 15 to 20 million if he goes. Have to reinvestment.
Whereabouts is Chris? Whereabouts is Chris watching? Whereabouts in New Zealand?
Well, I don't know that information. Chris will let us know in the chat if he can. Ben Hobbs comes up with a possible replacement for Leif, and it's actually from your local club, Rich. So you probably know him very well.
Harrison Burrows. Going to say Harrison Burrows. Yeah, he's.
You see him every week.
I obviously listen to Darrow's pod, and he's always bigging up their players. It makes me laugh, Matt, when you've got like the owner of a football club, and literally every week he's trying to sell his best players. Obviously, that's the way that they operate, don't they, Peterborough? Yeah. They've got some good youngsters. Yeah, he's a good player. I don't know. Look, there might have been talks when Jack Taylor come. You know, they talk about he's got a good relationship with Mark Ashton. So, yeah, possibly. Who knows? But I think he's captain. I think he's been captain of Peterborough this season.
We're not talking huge amounts here, though. What was if we had this conversation around Jack Taylor, didn't we? What might he cost? 2-3 mil? What did we get him for in the end? Just over 1.5, maybe?
Well, yeah, very true.
That ain't much of a reinvestment, is it? Once you've sold a player to the Premier League for X amount of millions.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Obviously, it helps with the FFP as well. Thomas Richard, hello, my friends, and you're my friends. 4 minutes behind, but always here for the algorithm. Appreciate that, Tom. Steve said, hi, lads. Looking forward to the game on Saturday. You're having a wonderful season. Hudson looks like a wonderful player. To see you get top 2 would be fantastic. Will be a tough game.
Stevie's Plymouth.
Yeah, Steve's Plymouth fan. Yeah, Plymouth fan.
Brilliant.
Mike D. Amari starts games at a 10 position. Come on as a sub on the right, which is very true, actually.
That's
very good observation, really. Okay, joining us, speaking of Plymouth fans, before we get into our own thoughts on the tie, is somebody from the Green and White podcast. Welcome in, my friend. How are we, sir? Oh, you're on mute. Don't worry. We've all done that. Don't worry. We've all done that. No. Hello. Hello. You're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute,
ever the professional.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's all right. We've all done it. We've all done it. Don't worry. We've all done it. Some of us do it 2 or 3 times a show.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Welcome in. Look, how are you first and foremost?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm coming down with a little something. So hoping that I can fend it off for Saturday, but it's that time of year, isn't it? Apart from that, I'm fine.
It's like you, Rich.
Yeah, a lot like Rich down there, who's also not too well. But you'll both want to fend it off for the weekend because you're going to see the mighty Ipswich Town come to town, and Rich is going to follow them. So you'll want to be fit and healthy for that. What are your thoughts, first of all, on seeing Town, a team you came up with, a team you beat to the title? Not that you mention it.
No,
doing it as well as we are. What are those thoughts?
I think there's a couple of things. I'll get this out the way early. I'm actually based in Norwich, so I've got to go. I've got to travel further than you have.
I nearly sworn them. Sorry.
I didn't drop that in the DMs earlier.
Wow. No, you didn't say that in the DMs earlier. No.
So I've actually got further than you have to go watch this one. But back onto the actual question. It sort of makes our title win look even better. Like if you look at like the potential that obviously you guys have got to reach the Premier League, etc. And Wednesday aren't a bad side, as they've proven once they've got a decent manager in. It makes our title win look even better for me. Like there was a lot of not very good with words, which isn't great for a podcast. There was a lot of tension, shall we say, between the fan bases last season. And like this season, it's got to the point where I don't care anymore. I just want to see you do well because, like I said, like you're not our battle anymore. So
why was that though? We liked what you was doing. Oh, like you were pipping us to the title, right? But we didn't get any grief from us. But why do you think that was then?
I don't know. To say that we didn't get any grief from you is a bit of a lie. But yeah, I think it's just
he often does that.
We liked you. I liked what Plymouth was doing.
Yeah. Well, I thought you liked them. A lot of social media didn't. Just to jump in and off the defense.
I think it's just tribalism, isn't it, within like fan bases?
Certainly is.
But we're doing the same this season in the Championship. We're being like the Plymouth, the thorn in the side to the other clubs.
Yeah, now you know how we feel. Like to, like basically get back in our box, and we don't deserve promotion. We don't deserve the league title, and aren't the teams below you the best teams the league's ever seen? So there's a lot of that. But like I said, I'm pretty much over that now. Yeah.
What did you have last season then that won you that title?
There's an easy answer in Stephen Schumacher.
Yeah, we might say that.
Pipped a certain someone to the manager of the year.
Yeah, deservedly so. Yeah.
Can't remember who he pipped, but no, I think both excellent coaches. It's him leaving. Obviously, cast a lot of doubts on us as a fan base, but I think we're sort of over those now. I can't speak for everyone. Social media is a bit volatile, isn't it? So you can ride the highs and lows, but all in all, last season, I'm going to be honest, it's about Stephen Schumacher and the way he galvanised that squad, because that squad on paper was very mid-table. There was a few standout players, as you know. Morgan Whittaker did the business against you. Ballymumba and the equaliser up at your place. There was a few players that played out of their skin week in, week out. But all in all, it was just that, that togetherness and Schumacher, basically.
Yeah.
Why has he left you though to go to Stoke? Because he's from the northwest and it's an easy commute back to the Merseyside. I mean, it just seems an odd.
Good question. I mean, it's not an easy commute because he's still commuting back to Plymouth because his. I'm not going to get into it too much, but his kids are still at school in Plymouth, so he's still commuting back here. So back in Plymouth. So yeah, not that easy. If anything, he's made it a lot harder. I mean, there's only one real answer, isn't there? Money. So why does anybody go anywhere in football? Money.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much. I mean, I mean, Stoke class, Rich, as a bigger club than Plymouth. Do you feel?
Well, it's a bit of a poison chalice, though, Stoke, isn't it? When you look at the managers they've gone through, I'd just like to ask you: do you think, obviously, he's struggling at Stoke? I wouldn't be surprised in the future if he goes back to Plymouth. Would he be accepted back by the fan base?
Well, after our midweek meltdown, our 3-0 loss to West Brom. In which even some members of our own parish on the pod maybe took it a little bit too far. Some people were saying that they're taken back in a heartbeat. I'm not too sure. I don't think going back ever really works for anyone, does it?
No, agreed.
I'm sure we'll see with Millwall. I think they're all but down. Going back with Harris. So I just don't think it ever works. It's never worked for us in the past when we've gone back to Sturrock, etc. I mean, circumstances were far different, but I just don't ever see it working. And like he's got the chance there to like tarnish his reputation that he built up with us.
No, I agree with that. There's always a reason why you moved on in the first place in a lot of the instances. So no, I definitely agree with that. But looking at the league table now, you're sitting 16th. How have you assessed your return to the championship, and what's your sort of expectations heading into the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's our first season back in the championship for 13 years, and I think actually whilst we're on that journey, we think there's a lot of like highs and lows, and like it's a bit of a roller coaster. But I think when we zoom out at the end of the season, we'll be like, well, pretty average season, isn't it? In championships, you know, in the bastion of championship teams that we've had, you know, nobody's going to be talking about our 15th place finish or whatever. So I think actually, like for us, it's a bit of a ride. But like I said, zoom out, just standard, stay up season, go again next year. Which, to be fair, we've done for several years now. Just year-on-year progression. As for Saturday, I think we can get a point. I think we get a point. And no real danger. I feel like we know what you're going to be about, what McKenna's about, what your squad's about, bar your 3 or 4 additions in January. I can see us having enough to nullify you under Foster. That's
interesting because I think we have struggled. You know, like Huddersfield, Darren Moore knew a lot about McKenna and Town style. So, you know, if anyone can, it'll be a team we came up with, albeit under a different manager. But everyone knows about Morgan Whittaker. I mean, there's a post on social media today in regards to he's finishing top bins. It's what you expect.
He looked good, didn't he? 15-2 to score from outside the box on Saturday, by the way. Get your money on it.
He's a danger man, but there must be 1 or 2 others that you can tell us about this evening as we head into the fixture that we should keep our eyes on.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few that up their game when they play you. Morgan Whittaker being one. I think you nailed on. He's going to get his annual goal against you lot. He doesn't mind those. I think his goal down at Home Park was absolutely fantastic finish. Another one of those, I'll be pretty happy. Ballymumba seems to up his game. Wasn't in Norwich very long, but seems to have that. The Canaries at heart, shall we say? Seems to do well against you lot, but you know about him. Who have we got that you don't really know about? I suppose Ashley Phillips, young centre back we signed in January on loan from Tottenham. Incredible talent. He's like 17, 18. He will play Premier League football. You know, one of those you just look at and you're like, absolute class. Who else? Good question.
Ryan Hardy?
Oh yeah, he's the forgotten man. I always forget about Ryan Hardy. There's a bit of a debate at the moment on Twitter as whether he's an Argyle legend or not. He absolutely is for me. Bringing us up from League 2 all the way to Championship, improving every season. His output is phenomenal. How he hasn't got a Scotland call up, I don't
figures
know.
For goals already.
Yeah, I mean he's just matched Paul Mariner's record for Argyle, 64 goals. Bit of a name drop there. I don't know if you know much about Paul, but absolutely phenomenal player on his day. Absolutely rapid as well. Won't give you a minute's rest, but you already know that. So
yeah. Any injuries heading in? Anyone that's missing that could have played a bigger part or was a big loss for yourselves?
Yeah, I should have done a bit of research into this. I mean, Adam Forshaw, ex Norwich. There's a lot of connections here, and
great.
Who else? Somebody else back in training today, Dan Scarr. So not really. There's no real major absences. Mike Cooper spent a bit of time on the Mike Cooper spent a bit of time on the sidelines, but he seems to be back in training now. I don't know whether he'll be thrust in against you on Saturday.
He was on the bench when he Saturday against Borough.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he might wait for a slightly easier opponent, which doesn't happen in the Championship, does it? To be honest, so.
No, the big debate we've got at the moment is a goalkeeper. We're looking
how much do you want for him?
Targets in the summer. Forget the valuation. Talk to me about him as a player. Can he, you know, if you had to describe the goalkeeper, Cooper, is he somebody who's a shot stopper, an all-round goalkeeper? Can he play with his feet? Sort of, if you're his agent and you're looking to sell him to the Talking Town public on why it should be him in the summer, what's his key attributes?
If I was looking to sell him, it wouldn't be to Ipswich. No, I'm joking.
It's gonna be, mate.
He's one of those. He's just like, I think maybe there's a big part of bias in the fact that he's come through our youth academy.
Yeah.
But he is, for me, the best goalkeeper I've ever seen play for Argyle, which isn't a huge.
You got Larry.
Yeah, exactly.
Peter Shilton. Peter Shilton played for
Plymouth.
Plymouth.
I'm not that old. I'm not old enough to watch Peter Shilton. Thank you, Dave.
But Roman Larry, he clearly has. You know,
Larry is a close second. Don't get me wrong, but Michael Cooper is a phenomenal shot stopper. It's just his injuries recently may have slowed him up a bit. I mean, we haven't really got a big enough sample size of him at Championship level. We've seen, and also, if I was him, never mind his agent, if I was him, we've seen Gavin Bazunu and James Trafford leap from effectively League One to the Premier League and been battered and been absolute rubbish. And I like Trafford. I don't like Bazunu, but I like Trafford. And that's not done any wonders for their confidence either. And I'm sure if he came in and you went up, there'd be people pining for Walton and Hagkey back. You'd be like, oh, I miss them. They got us up. They deserve to play in the Premier League, etc. But would I say he's better than Walton and Hagkey? Yes. Am I biased? Obviously. But yeah, I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if that youth academy graduate plays a big part in that, but he is phenomenal. Can he play? He can play when he wants to. His best attribute is bowling out with his hands. It's absolutely phenomenal. I think it might have been against Ipswich actually, or Wednesday. One of the goals. I mean, League One just sort of melts into one big celebration pot for me. But basically, he's picked the ball up. Absolutely incredible save. It's bounced in front of him. He's picked it up and just bowled it out like 60 yards, and Hardy's just gone and smashed it in the back of the net. And it's like absolutely phenomenal with his hands. But his feet, his distribution is better than Conor Hazard's, but still not. I wouldn't put him in like a ball playing team just for his feet.
Okay, which then, of course, lends itself to our conversation from Sunday, boys, where you potentially, does that rule him out, etc. We'll probably go through the coming weeks and months ahead to go through that. Before I let this fella go and ask him the last question, that is a score prediction. Any other questions from you two?
Morgan Whittaker, how much do you want in the summer? Because he was obviously linked with Lazio, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think he'll probably leave you. If you're probably being honest, he'll probably move on.
Oh, I don't want to say I hope so, but I think he will. I think it will give us a great opportunity to improve the squad overall, which needs work. We don't have any money. We're not like, I've seen that Leicester and Leeds fans have been calling you guys like plucky underdogs and you've got no money, and that makes me laugh. Because compared to us, you are multi-billionaires. But yeah, we need that money. I think he'd leave us, not a club legend, but an icon sort of thing. If you're playing Football Manager, one below legend, and that money would just rejuvenate the squad. I think Lazio would not have been a great fit for his family. They're quite vocal on certain political topics on Twitter, shall we say, and Lazio would not have fit the bill. But yeah, I think he is destined for if not a Premier League club, like a European club abroad that play Europa League minimum, I think, because he is outstanding. Don't expect him to do an awful lot, which will be the problem once he steps up, because he just creates moments of magic out of nothing. Like, he can have like 4 or 5 touches a game, and one of those has gone in the back of the net. So that will be his main problem. He's not. If I was buying a winger, I'd be looking at your Tom Fellows, your Johnny Rose, your Jack Clarks before Whittaker potentially. If I'm being honest, but like I said, create something out of nothing.
Quick word on your new gaffer then, Ian Foster. Has he sort of picked up what Schumacher left behind? Has he stuck his own sort of style in there?
Yeah, it's very Southgate. Is the way I would describe it. We've become very accustomed to, and I hate when people say like the West Ham way or etc. But there seems to have been, over the last 4 years, we've developed an Argyle way. His football is not that. Although once he reverted to something similar to that against Borough, we went up there and beat them 2-0 with 13 shots on target. But We're not good enough to play like backs against the wall defensive football, as West Brom found out. I mean, West Brom are class as well, but it's very Southgate in the fact it's a little bit boring if I'm being honest. But if it keeps us up, we can rebuild and he can go again in the summer with the I didn't actually give you a price, but the 15, 20, 25 million, whatever we get from Morgan Whitaker, then yeah, we'll judge him again next season, I think.
He's come from the England setup as well, hasn't he? The youth sides there. So it makes sense to be saying that. Yeah. Yeah,
he won the under 18s World Cup or something. I don't know, one of those. Under 17, something like that. With a lot of the players that we brought in the summer, like Udarko JB, Ashley Phillips, who else did we bring in? God, January was so long ago.
It certainly was.
We had a turnover of 7 in, 7 out. So, yeah. Busy.
Finazaz, he was a big blow going to Borough.
Yeah,
he was a really, really good player, and we said about him, didn't we, Mine? I think was it 2 million they signed him for?
Bargain.
Yeah, I think it's rumoured to be 2.5 million,
good
which
player.
Is absolutely outrageous. Like he is. If we had that money, I wish we'd spent it, but we just don't. That's what I'm saying. Like our budget is null and void. You know, we made a loss last year coming up as champions, predominantly on the fact that we had to play. Promotion bonuses and league title bonuses that I'm sure they didn't expect to have to pay out. Well, that and there was a big acquisition of land and stuff to build like a new training ground and all that sort of stuff. But like, normally your best years are your biggest, highest profit making years. And our budget isn't even Middlesbrough, like to cough up 2 million. We just can't do that,
Absolutely. All right. Score prediction then before I let you go.
I'll go 1-1. I know I said nullify you earlier, but I'll nullify you, but you also score. There you go. Okay. 1-1.
That sounds very good to me. Aaron, I really appreciate you coming on the platform. Thank you ever so much. Have a good weekend, but just not a good Saturday.
Yeah. Look forward to travelling down if Greater Anglia are a mess, which they normally are.
No, they will be. All the best, Aaron.
There's some local banter for you to finish on. Cheers, guys.
Absolutely. Cheers, Aaron. Appreciate it. Thanks ever so much. That was Aaron from the Green and White podcast. Go and check him out.
Green and White podcast, but from Norwich.
We wasn't going to mention that, because there's no, Hi, Town fans. Go watch the podcast. He's from Norwich. No, I'm not going to mention that. But a lot of what he was saying, sort of was resonating in terms of what happened last year, because a lot of times last year when you spoke about League One, you didn't speak about Plymouth. You spoke about Town and Wednesday, and we're having it this year where teams pundits, outside noises aren't talking about Town. They're talking about Leeds, Southampton, Leicester. And you are seeing, Rich, Town fans get really upset. And you are having a little bit of a taste of what...
It doesn't bother me at all. I was looking, I think I see this morning, it was the league table from this time last season. Sheffield Wednesday, I think, were 8 points clear top of the league with a game in hand, Matt. And we were sitting third. And we were probably all thinking playoffs. But we all know what happened. But look, does it bother me that... No, it doesn't. People lose their shit too easily. Just enjoy what we're doing. I don't really care about the outside noise from people talking about Leeds and Leicester. Well, they talked about Southampton, didn't they? Look what's happened to them. They've lost 3 out of 4. And now people are saying, oh, look, maybe they've blown the chance. So, look, just keep doing what we're doing. That's all we can do. We've got no control over anything outside what we do.
Take that on board, Matt. But I'll jump in with it. And it irks me. I ain't going to lie. If I read somebody talk about the championship and they'll say, look at the top end of the championship. We did Leeds, Southampton, Leicester. Well, hang on. We've been there every step of the way. Every step of the way. Do we not even, worthy of the 50 characters in a newspaper article or whatever it may be? Like even the BBC recently cut out the bit where Jurgen Klopp says Ipswich. Like, is this some sort of agenda? Like, come on.
I get it. I think probably there is a lot of love for Ipswich out there. I think probably a lot of Premier League fans, for example, looking down at the table and thinking, we could just get the 3 same sides that come back. So us being the fly in the ointment, so to speak, is probably quite interesting to a lot of neutrals. I think Town have had plenty of plaudits this season. Look, Henry Winter, best football writer in the country, one of the best in Europe, has been and done the interview with McKenna for the Times. So I think we've been picking up plenty of plaudits. But yeah, I agree with Rich. Really, just concentrate on doing what we're doing. Look, we're already in a world.
He agrees with me again. He's agreeing with me again. This is
Look at these
unbelievable
two.
tonight.
What's in this
What we're
Diet
doing.
Coke? What's in this Diet Coke?
You sure that's Diet Coke?
Concentrate on what we're doing. I haven't seen you two up front for Town this year. I mean, what we're doing, what they're doing.
We'd be better than you two in defence against Morecambe. Let me tell you that right now.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Look, we're in dream world right now. What is it? 72 points. Still got, as Rich says, 12 cup finals to go. I don't know. It seems to me that whoever misses out on the top two is going to finish in a record high third place, 90 plus points. And it's just like it was last season. Let's just hope we can make it, the top two. So it's us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he did. Gabby Bonner, I heard him on TalkSport, said he'd love Ipswich to go up. So there's plenty of people giving us some plaudits.
He's got Bentley and Ambrose in his ear, hasn't he?
But didn't he also say he was better than Vidic? We never found playing against Vidic hard.
Well, yeah, and then they showed some clips of against Vidic, and he didn't actually do that well, did he?
Can we find somebody else?
He also did say he could do a lot of things that Harry Kane couldn't do. But obviously...
Well, to be fair, so did Troy Deeney.
Yeah.
Yes, very true.
So, opinions. We've all got them. It's the response to that, I guess. But yeah, Scabby Bongler on TalkSport said he'd love Ipswich to go up. Adam says we need to focus on our own results and not rely on anyone else. Carrius number one next season, says Lewis Robertson. Oh, good heavens. Where is he still in Turkey?
No, he's at Newcastle.
He did go to Turkey. Is it
he played
Newcastle? Yeah,
he played for Newcastle on Saturday against Arsenal. I think that was only his second or third appearance because Dubravka was injured, but then he was back in last night. Dubravka because they beat Blackburn quite well in that game. I don't know if you watched it. They done really well.
I feel better for not knowing that. Having he's only second or third appearance of the year. I mean,
what did you think of the Liverpool keeper in the League Cup final?
Very good. Very good.
He was good, wasn't he? Yeah. One to keep an eye on.
You're not getting it. He'll be playing Premier League football. Well, we might be, but
exactly.
Yeah, possible.
There you go. Earlier, I patted myself on the back, and a few people did point out Adrian is being one of those. Pat yourself on the back. You have to go somewhere in Stone Market to get that sort out. And AD said, if you pat yourself on the back, you might need Stone Market osteopaths. That's right. Stone Market osteopaths and physiotherapy. Give Freddie a call on 01449613633. Don't live life in pain. Health is wealth. Give Freddie a call, 01449613633. Tell him the Governor sent you, and he will look after you, whether it's osteo or physiotherapy services. Stone Market Osteopath. Right, Saturday. You've heard from Aaron. You've heard what he's had to say. What are you two thinking? I mean, it's a must. Is it? There's 12 games to go, but is it a must-win, Richard Moss?
I think it's going to be a very hard game. I think I think we've lost the last two times we've been down there. Obviously, he was talking about Barley Mumba, but I think he was on the bench Saturday, so he's not been doing a lot. He'll probably come on and bloody score Saturday enough, said that. But it's a long old trip, isn't it? They'll probably fly down, I would have thought, Town. We'll probably hear tomorrow. I don't know if Kieran will do his interview, if they're going on Friday. Is it a trap game? Is it a trap game, Gov?
It's an interesting one, this. It's an interesting one. It does enter the realms of trap.
Explain to everybody what a trap game is.
Well, this is it. You see, this is why it's entering the realms and not a certifiable trap game banker. Because a trap game is a game where you're expected to win, but perhaps recent form, recent league position makes the opponent appear weak when actually they are tricky. They are going to be someone you should be wary of.
They're League One champions.
Well, this is it. I mean, so, Preston are now 8th. I don't know where they were when we played them.
They got a stinking record when we played them. And I remember the lad we had on, and he was telling us how bad they were.
Trap game, right? Rotherham. Tell you what, I said trap game, and people laughed at me. They scorned me. They said, "You're silly, Gov." Took Omari Hutchinson in the 8th minute for that not to be the case. So, there's
no easy games in this league. There's no easy games.
There's method in the madness, not just madness. I meant to the method bit, so I forgot.
Rich, what we didn't discuss on Sunday, poor Elliot, when he said it was the worst night of his life.
He did say it was the worst night of his life against Rotherham when they scored the penalty.
And then what happened to him in the Birmingham game?
The second goal when Sarmiento, he's magic, you know. When he scored, we were celebrating quite wildly, and I ended up punching him right on the nose. It was one of them comedy moments.
What a
And
week, brilliant.
His nose went red, Matt, you know, like a reindeer. It was glowing.
Yeah,
But he was all right. He was all right. We were
He was
happy in
okay.
the end.
Yeah.
We were happy in the end. People do get injured celebrating scoring goals, you know. It's a dangerous business.
It's tough at the top when you're celebrating
Yeah.
goals. Yeah, absolutely.
Tough.
I wouldn't describe it as a trap game. I'd describe it as an unpredictable game because they've got done 3-0 by West Brom at home park, where they've had a good record and notoriously, you know, that's what won the, you know, that's what won them the League One title, wasn't it? That home record was phenomenal. And then they've gone to Borough and won 2-0. What the hell? So I think it's going to be quite unpredictable. So we don't really know what kind of Plymouth team we're going to face. Maybe that comes with having their new manager. I don't know, but
It was only their second away win, Matt. It was only their second away win.
Yeah, mad, isn't it? So yeah, I would say it's going to be an unpredictable game. The thing is, though, could Ipswich hold a clean sheet for 15 minutes? We haven't seen it too often, but look, we did it at Millwall, didn't we? So and Swansea, in actual fact.
But they've won. If my quick look at the BBC score and results page is correct, they've won what outside of Sutton twice since the turn of the year. The rest have been draws. So I mean, like the results have been. New Year's Day was Watford 3-3. They beat Sutton obviously in the FA Cup. They drew with Huddersfield. They beat Cardiff. They drew with Leeds in the FA Cup. They got beat by Borough, beat by West Brom, beat by Leeds, drew with Coventry, beaten by Sunderland, beaten by Leeds in the FA Cup replay, and obviously beat Swansea. So take away Cardiff and Swansea. Since the turn of the year, it's you know, wins have been hard to come by.
So this Ian Foster, his record, it's 11 games, 4. This is league. 4 wins, 3 draws, 4 defeats. So they've took 15 points from the 33 available, Gov. So yeah, it's sort of mid-table, sort of lower mid-table form, isn't it, really, when you look at that?
But it is. That's why they're 15th and not 5th.
Yeah.
Or 24th, you know, because it is that sort of mid-table form. But you go into it, you put that into the melting pot, you look at the recent form, and you would think Town sitting in 3rd, having recently come through a blip themselves, but now having taken 12 from 12, this could be 15 from 15. You should, if you're an accumulator player, away banker, right, Matt?
Yeah, well, certainly the bookies seem to see it that way. Just looking at some of the odds there earlier on. Absolutely. If we've done 5 games on the trot wins this season, we've done 4 a few times, haven't we? 2 or 3 times, I think. But I think if we, you know, if we're going to have to keep, if we've got aspirations to finish second, along with Leeds and Southampton, we're just going to have to keep stacking up 3 points. And I do feel like with the form we're on, and you know, we've put in 2 good away performances, albeit slightly differently. Millwall was a rout, albeit we survived that early deluge they gave us. And in talking of deluges, we survived that in Swansea, didn't we? Albeit it was from the skies. And we got the 2-1 and we defended for our lives. So somewhere between the two would be good, I think. But I don't see any reason why Ipswich can't go there and win, quite frankly.
Any changes for you, Rich? I mean, obviously there's injuries, so there will be changes. And
who
will they be?
We'll find out. We'll find out when Kieran obviously does his press. But obviously Wes and Nathan Broadhead went off injured, and Chaplin went off. I think he'll probably be all right because he seemed okay. But I'd be surprised if Broadhead and Burns played. So you're probably going to bring in Omari plays and Sarmiento. You'd think they're like-for-like replacements. We're hunting our 10th away win, Matt. We've won 9 away this season.
Wasn't it?
Really good. So we've won 9 away. Plymouth only won 10 games all season in the league. So
yeah. They just
they're the only 2 changes I would have thought. I can't see any. Well, does Harry Clark come back in? But then Twanzebe played really well, didn't he? He was obviously a lot of people's man of the match. But I did say the other week, I think now's the stage of the season where I don't think you're going to be making loads of changes. I know it is a 3-game week because we've got Bristol City on Tuesday at home. But I'd say them 2. I think Twanzebe probably keeps his place, Matt. You know, you're away from home. You might want a little bit more defensive solidity, maybe. And I think Axel probably brings you that. And I could probably see Harry Clark coming back in on Tuesday against Bristol. But look, it's a chance for Sarmiento because he's been quite impressive, hasn't he? But he's not really had many starts. And that was obviously why I think he came here, didn't he? Because he didn't play that much football at West Brom, Matt. I think that's one of the reasons probably why Brighton looked to loan him out. So he's going to have an opportunity. He played at Preston away when we lost. He didn't really take it then. And he's probably done his best work off the bench when you think of the goal at Leicester and the goal on Saturday. So big chance for him. Omari, I've got no concerns at all about him coming in for Wes, because we've spoke about him before and we've waxed lyrical and we know what he brings. And you're obviously going to have to change the sub bench. There's going to be a couple of changes on there, but I think it's going to be a really hard game. I'm under no illusions going down there that we're going to roll this lot over, because obviously Whittaker, we know what he brings to the party. And I can see a draw. If I'm being honest, I think it might be a draw on Saturday.
Is there the temptation, Matt, with Connor potentially carrying an injury, with obviously Brody and Wes, that you freshen up those three positions behind more, and that you go maybe a Sarmiento, a Harness, and a Hutchinson, or an Ali, Hutchinson, Sarmiento, or whatever permutation? Is there a temptation, do you feel, where you thinking that because of 3 games in a week?
Thinking that myself with Harness, absolutely. I mean, he's stepped up, hasn't he? He's another one that we thought maybe wouldn't be able to cut it in the Championship, and he's certainly got us out of a few holes. So, yeah, absolutely, I think there. I mean, look, Al Hamadi's chomping at the bit to get to game time. He was unlucky, wasn't he, on Saturday, because him and Travis were coming on, and then we scored, and they got sat down again.
Did you see the bench cam, the celebrations?
Yeah, I've never seen it yet.
Him and Kieran hugging each other, and I like it when you see the lone players as well. Inside. They're all invested, aren't they?
Yeah,
all of them.
I can remember Mark Noble when he was on loan with us from West Ham, running down half the pitch to celebrate one time. Yeah, that's great to see. It shows you're invested in what is a temporary project as it is, but you got the investment. But yeah, maybe Al Hamadi could come in there. But again, I've liked what I've seen from him from the bench. Do you know what I mean? 20 minutes to go when he comes, chasing the crisp packet around the pitch.
I don't see him starting in the 10, Matt. If I'm being honest, he's not a 10.
It'd probably be a bit bold, wouldn't it? But certainly, you could maybe have a Harness in there or something. But we seem to be seeing the best of Sarmiento, etc., coming in off the bench, impact players. Last 20 minutes, that seems to be cutting the mustard for us. And see if we can keep it rolling.
I wouldn't want to go out. I wouldn't want to go there if Broadhead and Burns are not playing. I wouldn't be going without Chaplin if he's fit. I don't think you'd be changing all 3 of them. I think you'd be really silly, if I'm honest, because that's Chaplin. Although he's been quiet in a lot of away games, he's always got that in his locker, isn't he, Matt? That goal, the one at Swansea, you pull it back and he's there. The one on Saturday he got, that was the Saturday one. If you watch that back, it's a very clever finish, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we all thought he was offside at the time.
Yeah.
But I just think the 2 lads that are injured, I think you replace them with Sarmiento and Omari, and I think that's probably all you do. I would have thought.
Might see a bit of Caden Jackson action off the bench then, potentially.
Potentially. Yeah. Well, this is it.
Right side.
Somebody's going to have to be thrusted into a start. You'd imagine, given the opportunity to shine from minute 1 as opposed to the latter stages of the game. But you mentioned you think it's going to be a draw, Rich. I've not got your thoughts about in terms of score and if it will be a win or not. But I'm not happy with that. We're at the stage of the season where that does nothing for me. I mean, it keeps you potentially in, closer to Leeds than perhaps the one.
We're not winning every single game. We've got 12 games to go.
It does nothing for me. That Rich. Not when you've got fixtures on the horizon, such as Norwich, Derby, unpredictable. They've also made a resurgence.
Oh yeah,
you've got Southampton. I don't want to be going down to Plymouth and dropping. And this is, we may well do this, but dropping points, because in the overall picture of a promotion charge, that does nothing for me, Mr. Moss.
But then we went to Rotherham, we dropped points. Leeds went to Rotherham and dropped points. This is what I'm saying, and you said it before. There's nothing easy. We shouldn't just go there and expect to roll them over just because we're 3rd in the league and they're 15th. I hope. Look, we've got enough to beat them. We know we have, and nobody knows how the game pans out. We've all seen the referees in this season, what they're like, and not very good. I said on Sunday, I agree with Mike there. If you do want to be top 2, you've probably got to win 9 or maybe even 10 out of your remaining 12 games, because Leeds are going to be so strong. And I know they're playing, I think it's Huddersfield away. I know that's a Yorkshire derby. Leeds will go there and they'll roll them over. I've got no doubt that Leeds will go to them places and win. They've got to go to Sheffield Wednesday. They'll beat them. Ellen Road, I don't see them dropping a point, Matt, if I'm honest. at Ellen Road. They're so strong. So
Yeah.
look, I do agree with Martin. If you want to get that top 2, you've probably got to win the majority of your games. But I just think the law of averages says to me that I don't think we will. I'm just being honest. And we're, like you say, Matt, we're going to finish on 90 plus. Any other season, that would get you top 2. It's just the way it is this season that the top 2 are going to be. And I know people say about Leicester. Oh, Leicester. Don't forget, Leicester is still 6 points clear. It's not as though they've fallen off the side of the earth and they're now level. They had a good win last night. I see people saying, "Oh yeah, but they're in the cup now. It's another game." Winning is a habit, and they needed that win last night. They needed to go to Bournemouth. And they needed to win that because that would have been 3 defeats in all competitions. So Leicester will win the league. Leeds will be second. Town will finish third. That's what I think.
In terms of Ellen Road prediction, I'm not quite sure on that. But the next 5 fixtures for Leeds, Matt, I mean, you couldn't ask for really much kind of fixtures.
Should win them all.
Huddersfield away, Stoke at home, Wednesday away, Millwall at home, and then March is ending with going to Watford, and Watford could be under. Who
new management
could they be under at that point? So,
what a surprise! Watford under new management. Who'd have guessed?
But as games go,
I do agree with that. But look, I do agree with that. Once again, agreeing with Richard. But who saw Millwall going to Southampton?
That's true.
3 points there. So do you know what I mean? On paper, I do agree. But like you said earlier, the permutations of what happens in the game over 90 minutes. Referee gets it wrong. It's a pen. It's an own goal. Someone gets sent off. So we'll just have to wait and see. I do agree on the Leeds at home thing. I think they're going to be strong. If they do drop points, I think it's probably going to be away from home. But still 12 games to go. Still a lot can happen. And I just mentioned Southampton there. They was on the tear, 20 plus, 100-year record.
How many? What have we got? 6 at home. Have we got 6 home, 6 away?
Yeah, must be something in that ballpark, I think.
I'm looking at that. There's 2 fixtures probably on the Leeds calendar. You would question that prediction. That's Sunderland at home and Southampton at home.
Minus Jack Clark. He's going to be out for 6 weeks. So
but they're looking at the.
You think Sunderland will go to Ellen Road to get a result? Not a chance.
I think they're potentially a side that could.
No, Leeds will sweep them aside about 3-0. They're like a steamroller at home. We went there. We see that in that first half. That crowd, the crowd they've got there. If they get an early goal, they'll just sweep teams away. Yeah. It's that mentality that they've got, and you see them all at the end of that game, all singing the other night. I just think they're. It's like that snowball effect, Matt. I think Leeds have got on the minute, and I just think it's going to roll all the way to the Premier League for them.
I think we're going to have to reassess Crystal Ball Chandler's nickname. Got Crystal Ball Cruncher here, Gov.
I know, unbelievable, isn't it?
I hope I'm wrong. I honestly hope I'm wrong. And
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
If Town are top two, but even if we're not, it's just we've had a brilliant season, and we're still going to have a good chance in the play. I'd fancy us in the playoffs against anybody. I just think, other than Leeds,
Norwich?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Bring them.
Why
on.
not?
That would even be sweeter. Bring them on.
Shellacking. Is that what you said? That's what I thought you were going to say there.
Shellacking. I've got to be careful because I thought they did get a shellacking. It just turned out to be a draw. But on paper,
but there will be. Yeah. I agree with what Emerson says there. We can only take care of what we do, but there will be times when they've not got all the TV fixtures out. There'll probably be times here, boys, coming when we're going to be on the telly and we're probably going to have a chance of winning the game before Leeds or Leicester play, and that might pile a little bit more pressure onto them. Because we've had to play catch up a couple of times.
Did you like my point prediction on Twitter when you asked, and I told you what we needed to get when you said how many points we're going to get over the next 5, and I said, well, 1 more than Leeds. Like that's...
Oh yeah, brilliant.
We can't get 16. We can't get 16, Gov. Leeds, with them fixtures you said there, you'd expect Leeds to win all of them, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Because the only time Wednesday turn up because it's in Ipswich.
Although Wednesday, Wednesday they've woken up, haven't they? And all of them teams you mentioned there, apart from Watford, they all have got something to play for.
Yeah.
So they're not going to go there and just roll over. So, and you do see a few weird results, don't you, come the end of the season, like Saturdays, Matt. Millwall going there. I mean,
mental. They were useless against us.
Yeah, they were terrible.
They were absolutely terrible. They were garbage against us.
New manager bounce.
Question for the Cruncher. if we do get top 2, will you have Kieran McKenna's face put next to the
I'll get another
tattoo?
tattoo. If we get promoted, I'll get another tattoo. Honestly.
Love that.
Will it be?
With success comes ink.
Yeah, with success comes ink. I'm trying to think. Would it be? I don't know. What would the new tattoo be? Would it be? Lee Evans is responsible for you blocking him. You're probably talking shit, mate.
Where is Lee Evans? Has he signed for a club yet? He's not gone anywhere, has he?
He could get linked to Newport or something.
Yeah, he's not gone there. He's not gone there.
That's too low for him, really.
But I mean,
he'll be fit soon.
Yeah, that as
well.
I
mean, if you look at all the leagues apart from the Premier League. I'm not really interested in that at the top. But if you look at all the leagues, Championship.
Since when?
Look at the results last night. I mean, League One last season, we were up there scrapping for our lives. Pompey are having their feet up last night, Matt.
Yeah.
Derby lose at home to Charlton.
Yeah.
Bolton go to Wigan and lose, and Bolton got smashed at Blackpool. And I mean, so unpredictable. It's so unpredictable, all these leagues. And it's great, isn't it? English football, it's the best.
Mansfield are top of League 2, I noticed. Is that still
Nigel
Nigel
Clough?
Clough? Yeah,
Yeah,
I wanted him
Clough
at
is still
town.
there.
Wanted him
Clough
at
is
town.
still there.
Yeah. I have not looked at League One for a while. Yeah, Portsmouth 73, Derby second 66, Bolton game in hand on 66, Barnsley 2 games.
They're the ones
Wow.
they're just sitting.
They did this
were
last
looking-
year though, Rich. They had a couple of games in hand and they come up against Town and then coughed after that. You know, there's no Town this year to just knock them about, is there? That's the thing, you see.
See, that was Charlton Athletics' first win, Matt, for 14 games last night.
Was he really?
Nathan Jones.
Yeah.
Look, his celebration last night.
He's a very lively character.
He's very lively.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
All right, score predictions then. Let's end the show. Can I have your score prediction, please?
I'm going. Oh, we're going to get down there and win. It's about time we broke that home park hoodoo. 3-2. Be like it was at Pullman Road.
3-2.
Hopefully we won't go 2. We did go 2 down to them, didn't we? And got it back to 3-2. Am I right in thinking that?
No, we were winning 3-1 and then they scored right near the end, didn't they?
They went 1 up, didn't they? It was Whittaker, though, wasn't it? Whittaker got the opening goal.
Yeah, that was the game when Edmondson was lucky with that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still not sure if he fouled him or not. I'm still thinking the ref guessed, but
It wouldn't surprise me if we do concede early. It wouldn't surprise me that at all. Inside the first 15. But we've got the goal power now to go down there and do something, and I think we will. 3-2.
Perfect. All right. 2-1 says 80, 1-1 says Mark, 2-1 says Colin, 2-1 says GT Plymouth. Nick says 4-1 Ipswich. Adam says 1-0 Town. Matt Stannard.
Big Head will win it. I don't know what that means.
All right, Adam. 3-2 says Charlie. 3-1 says Chris. I never did see a response from Chris, by the way, but I'm sure he'll let us know in future shows. Thanks for watching. We're back on Saturday for the match reaction. I say up we. He's hosting.
Prediction.
Oh, did you not give one?
No.
Sorry, I thought I heard it. I thought I heard it in my
plenty
ears.
of goals.
Sorry.
They scored plenty of goals. They scored 53, conceded 57. You said 2-1. I'm saying 2-2.
Yeah,
You said
I'm sure you said 1-1 earlier.
No, I said it'd be a draw. I didn't say 1-1. I said it'd be a draw.
I said a draw.
Surprised if it was a draw.
Okay, all right.
And I'm going to go for a Desmond.
Okay, I've got myself confused because I thought he said 1-1 as well, Matt. So.
But I agree with Gov. We do need to win. We do need to win 100%. Because we know that Leeds are going to win. And we know that Leicester are going to win. So we've got to be almost perfect. Queenstown, there you go.
I'm still none the wiser. Auckland, is that near there?
Do you know Queenstown, Rich? Have you been to New Zealand?
I'd like to actually go to New Zealand. I'm actually going to watch them. I'm going to watch the first 2 hours of the test tonight, Matt, because I'm not working tomorrow. Kiwis versus Australia starts at 10 tonight.
Does it? I might chip in.
So I'm going to pop that on for a couple of hours and then drift away, hopefully.
Gov will have a little gander. He'll go in and have a little look, see what's going on.
Why would you do that? Why would you just watch 2 random teams?
We've not forgotten you liked cricket in the summer.
We're going to get Gov. We need to get Gov to a game in the summer. 2020 at Chelmsford.
Down Chelmsford.
Get him down there.
No
hang on. Probably not, because he's not even give us a date for that Chinese yet.
Yeah, it was me Chinese. You said you were going to buy me a Chinese.
That's escalated quite quickly.
I don't actually think he said he was going to buy it.
I said, let's have a Chinese. I didn't say I'll buy you the Chinese. I don't buy myself Chinese. Let alone buy you a Chinese. So, no. Sorry. Apologies.
We'll get something from the Lantern House just up the road.
Lantern House?
Yeah, Lantern House. I'm a regular in there. They know me.
Well, you get it on your you get it on your credit card, then I'll pay you back at a later date of undisclosed nature. Right, we're done. We're dusted. He's back on Saturday for the match reaction.
Join
He's
me
in the chair.
right here.
I'm at home.
He's
but,
busy.
I'm daddy daycaring it all weekend on my own.
What about Sunday? You here Sunday?
I should be. Yes, Grandpa's gonna be coming in to look after the children on Sunday. But yeah, because there's a big hen party all weekend.
Whoa,
Wow.
Where they going? Where they heading? Anywhere?
I have been told.
But it's gone in one ear and out the other.
You're not
It's
really
in here
bothered, are you?
somewhere. It's
You're not
coming.
that worried.
I'm panicking. I'm panicking. I'm going to end the show now.
When is this wedding? Is it happening? Is it in football season?
It's March the 23rd, 2nd, March 22nd.
Oh, it's one of them days.
One of them.
Yeah.
It's in March
One of those.
sometime.
Is that
Basically, I'm booked out.
That's international weekend, isn't it?
That's it.
Yeah.
Weekend.
Ipswich Town ladies, tickets on sale if you want to go.
Get
Correct.
Ipswich Town, get down there and support Joe Sheehan's girls.
Yeah. Joe Sheen, star of this show.
£6. £6
Been on
a
here.
ticket for an adult. I think kids are £2. Hope they get a big crowd. I really do hope that they get a good crowd down there, and then we can do it again. Look, Adam Bergen, and look, €2.49.
Cheers, Adam. Appreciate that.
No, Adam.
Absolutely appreciate that. Right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Look after yourselves. Safe trip down if you're going on Saturday. If not, see this man. See you Sunday.
I'm going Friday.
Yeah.
I'm going down Friday. Come on.
Game Saturday. Rick.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat. Weird chills running down my neck. I thought went crazy from just the thought of you.